Hey y'all, what's going on? Lisa here at Family Foods. Welcome to video one of Under $1. This is going to be where every meal that I prepare is going to be less than $1 per serving. So to start with, I'm going to be making Grandma's vegetable minestrone. So basically, it's my grandma's soup. She always makes vegetable soup. It's delicious. And I just kind of turning into a bit of a minestrone because my kids like to have pasta in it. So it's kind of like vegetable soup and minestrone come together, and it's really, really good. It's filling, it's healthy, and it's very, very inexpensive to make, and it's very flexible as well. So let's get started. I'm going to be making everything. It's a one-pot dish in the Instant Pot, but if you don't have an Instant Pot, very easy to do. On the stove, you basically are just going to let all the ingredients come to a boil, and then you're going to reduce the heat to medium and just let it cook basically until the potatoes and the pasta are cooked through. But I'm going to do everything in my Instant Pot because I love this guy, and it'll keep warm until we're ready to eat dinner. So I'm going to walk you through all the ingredients here. All right, everything is just going to go in the pot. So right here I have one onion, about one medium onion. I have 4 carrots chopped and 4 stalks of celery dice. And I prefer to cut everything kind of uniform so it all cooks evenly. And I like a little bit somewhat smaller dice instead of big chunks. I just think it's nice to have it a bite all throughout. And it kind of, when you're using smaller amounts of ingredients, it stretches it out. Okay, so I'm going to add all that to it. Then I'm going to put in 1 can of beans. Now everything, my cost is less than $6. You could probably make it less than that, or it might cost you slightly more, but either way you're going to come out to where it's under $1 a serving. So I've got a can of red beans. Really, you could use any kind of bean. I'm using the liquid in everything. Make sure you get everything out of the can. Then I've got 2 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. Now my store, I picked this up today. They had each can marked down to 50 cents. And they were whole tomatoes. So I just basically, back here, I took all the tomatoes and just kind of crushed them up in my hands. So really you could use diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, you can use tomato sauce, you can use whole tomatoes broken up, it does not matter. So I've got 2 28-ounce cans of tomatoes. Okay, I'm going to put that in. I've got 4 cups of water, which I just put 2 and 2 to clean out the tomato cans. So 4 cups of water. I've got 1 cup of frozen corn. I've got half a pound of white potatoes. I just prepped them ahead and had them soaking in water. Half a pound of white potatoes and a half a pound of sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. My grandma always liked things sweet. That's probably where I got my sweet tooth from. Ooh, there's a big old pot. And then 2 cups of packed greens. I've got kale here, but you could use collards, you could use any kind of green you want. Spinach. That's going to wilt down. Okay, I'm going to need a spoon here. And then the seasonings are right here. I've got 1 tablespoon of finely ground sea salt. I've got a half a teaspoon of ground black pepper. I've got, I think this is I've got oregano and basil. I can't tell which is which. I think this is oregano. So I've got 1.5 tablespoons of dried oregano, 1.5 tablespoons of dried basil, and I've got 1.5 tablespoons of garlic powder. You can always add more seasoning after you taste it because it's going to depend on if your beans were salted, how salty your tomatoes were, all that kind of stuff. But I usually keep things pretty mild. And then I'm adding in a half a pound of your favorite pasta. Doesn't matter. This one happens to be a chickpea pasta that's gluten-free. This cost me about $1.50 at Costco. But so it kind of makes up for the cost of the 50 cents a can of tomatoes. But if you use a regular box of pasta, elbow, penny, whatever, you should be able to get a pound of pasta for $1. So your pasta really shouldn't cost you more than 50 cents. And you're going to put all that in there. Now, I'm just going to turn the camera off. I'm going to give everything a good little stir here. And then it'll be ready to go into the, I'll show you before I put it in there, but I'm going to pressure cook this on high pressure for 6 minutes. Doesn't matter what kind of pasta you do, that's going to cook all the vegetables, that's going to cook the noodles, everything in 6 minutes. So let me stir this up and I'll show you guys what it looks like. All right, I just took a spoon and mixed it all up. Look at that big old pot of soup. So all the vegetables, everything's going to wilt down, cook. The vegetable will make a nice like vegetable stock. It's going to be really, really delicious. And this should, we're a family of 5. We plan on having this for dinner tonight and for tomorrow. So you should definitely get 10 good servings out of here. But we'll see. Let it cook up. I'm going to put this high pressure 6 minutes. And I'll check back with you when it's done. Check out this soup. So, just finished cooking. Just took the lid off. It will take a good bit to come to pressure with this much soup in there. So don't worry. Everything is going to be cooked. Just give it a nice little stir. I'm going to mix everything up. I'm going to put a little bit in a bowl. Give a little bit of a taste to see if it needs any seasoning. And I'm going to serve this up and a little bit for my family with some, just a little bit of toasted baguette on the side with some butter. Just want to do a little taste test for you guys. Put some in a bowl here. It's so hot. I just had a bite and it is perfectly seasoned. Wow, that's a lot of soup. It's so good. It's perfect for this time of year. Delicious. I hope you give this a try. Really, really good. And that chickpea pasta, if you never had it before, is excellent. It gives a lot of extra fiber and protein for just like an extra buck that you would spend on regular pasta. So it's a pretty good little find. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. You guys know it. Make food with love. Eat happy foods. We're gonna have a feast tonight. If you're new to the channel, I've got I'm doing a $2 a day series. We're coming to an end now, but I do tons of budget-friendly, frugal dishes. I'm gonna do more like this as well. So if you guys got a request, leave it in the comment below. Love to hear from you as always, and I'll catch you later. Ciao, my friends. I want to mention real quick, you can half this recipe if you like. If you're just 2 people or smaller family, you don't want leftovers, definitely half the recipe. You really can't make more than that in your pressure cooker. But you can also freeze this soup, and the next day if you go to eat it and it has thickened up a little bit because the beans and the potatoes and the pasta and everything will soak up some of that liquid, just reheat it on the stove, add a little bit of water, and you're good to go. So I just wanted to mention that. Take care.